Hey guys, this is Jordan Lisowski, your host of Whitetail Passion TV podcast and Whitetail Passion TV. Today it's going to be just me, so I was going to bring my brother on. He got busy with some things. It's the middle of the week. I have to get a podcast done. I have to get some content out. This one may not be very long at all, yet it's something, and it's hard to find people in the middle of the week that want to just come over and do this. So this weekend, I'm hoping to get maybe one or two done for the future, and then we're just going to keep building off of that as much as we can. But basically, I'm going to change it up a little bit. Instead of having the camera on us for this episode and maybe future episodes, we'll go back and forth. I'm just going to have a picture of Whitetail Passion TV podcast or Whitetail Passion podcast. We haven't came up with the official name yet. It's going to be one of the two. But basically, I'm going to go into today kind of our overview of what our season hopefully should look like and what everything's looking like so far. And starting back to it, don't worry, it's not going to be just me a lot. It's just kind of a freak way that how this is all happening and the weather we've had. And it's been crazy. It's been crazy. I'll get more into that. But anyways, our first look back is the start of the year. So in the beginning of January, we caught wind that Minnesota was going to have a CWD hunt, which is basically a controlled but uncontrolled hunt where you can kill as many deer as you want as long as you have the tag for it. And buck, doe, fawn, it doesn't matter what kind of, what gender specific it is. It does not matter. You can kill anything. And I guess the biggest thing for us was we were going to get some easy film, we thought. And hunting's never easy, but it just, everything seemed to be against us between the weather and just how everything played out. So we got permission on this one farm. We went up and scouted it, and the same night we scouted it, we seen a 1.5-year-old buck, just a little basket rack up in the field. And right away I was all super stoked. It was me and Taylor Stolpa that were going on this hunt, and I was like, God, there's deer here. And then some does came up, and the following weekend when we went up there for our evening hunt on Friday, it was it was a super cold day. It was the last cold day we were going to have, and it just so happened to be, as soon as we get up there, there was 6 does standing in the field. So right away, we had a good feeling about the night, but then there's public access on the back side, and the only way to get to that public access is to take this one field road that cuts right through the land that we had permission on to hunt. So basically, we have permission to hunt, picture this, we have permission to hunt this land, but in the middle of the land, so we're on top of a ridge, on the right side and left side we can hunt with fields all around, but there's a field road going right down the middle that the guy lets anybody go through to get to the public access point to the state land in the back. So in the meantime, we have trucks, going through back and forth every day, every night, scouting the public land and then hunting at that time. So it kind of pushed some deer out. Them does fed early, and we never ran into any other deer that night, except on our walk back. We cut down to a bedding area to see where they're laying during the day and try and get a pinpoint on how to get in there and hunt that. And we kicked 3 does out. But it gets even better, sarcastically, because we end up getting crappy rain, warm weather, and the deer just did not move the rest of the weekend. So we jump into the following weekend. This is a 2-weekend hunt, And the following weekend, we end up getting dumped on Friday, at least a foot of snow in February. And it's been a weird year because all the way up until February, where we are here in Wisconsin, we've got maybe 6 to 10 inches. And now through February, we're just about to break 50 inches tonight. So we have had a crazy month of snow. And we had planned that towards the middle, end of February and the beginning of March, we would have a shed episode started. And turns out, when you get 50 inches of snow, it's hard to find sheds. I've found 2 of them so far. Me and Dad did. And that's it. I mean, unless they still have them on and they drop them right on top of the snow the night before you get snow, you aren't going to find them, or it's going to be very difficult. I'm kind of getting worried that the squirrels are going to find them, so we'll see what kind of a shed hunting episode we can put out there. It seems like it'll be in the middle of turkey season, but we'll knock out 2 birds with 1 stone there. So this is going to be the first year in my ever career of turkey hunting that I've drawn a first season tag. And when you are a resident, you're almost guaranteed a first. If not, you're guaranteed a second season. So pretty much this will be a first year ever in my career of turkey hunting here in Wisconsin that I'm going to have snow on the ground for a first season tag that I drew. And it's going to be crazy. It really is. I've never hunted birds in the snow before. And it's going to be a different challenge. It's going to be a different task, but it should be fun. And I'm thinking we're the last dairy farmer in the valley, and we're one of the few cattle farmers that have enough cattle to spread manure on all of our fields almost year round. And for some who don't know, cattle eat corn, and when they digest corn, corn comes out the other end. And when you spread cow manure, that manure has corn still in it. So when you spread that corn out, or that manure, corn gets all over in the field, and turkeys are naturally attracted to that corn. So I might just have to go and set up on the edge of one of our fields that we have manure spread, where we have 150 turkeys flocking up, and watch 70 hens come past and maybe get lucky and have 15 toms to pick and choose from. But that's only dreaming too. Who knows? We'll see what happens when the time comes. And we also have, after we get done with that first week of turkey hunting here in Wisconsin, we're going to have a turkey hunt over in Minnesota. I drew a second season tag there in Minnesota, where it goes A, B. I'm not completely sure how many seasons are there in Minnesota. I know it goes all the way to E here in Wisconsin. So we're going to hunt over on Taylor Stolpa's property, and we have one other property we're going to turkey hunt in Minnesota this year. And then we're going to come back to Wisconsin for a 3rd, 4th, and 5th season for sure. We might hit up one more Minnesota season. And that's pretty much going to wrap up our turkey hunting. In between now and then, we have the Arcadia Sports Expo that we're going to put on by the Arcadia Sportsman's Club. That's March 9th down at Value Implement here in Arcadia, Wisconsin. That should be a good time. We're going to have a giveaway. We're going to give away a free dip to Randy Huff. He does dip. You can get your bow dipped, a skull dipped, gun dipped, anything you really want dipped that's dippable, he'll do. And then we're going to have a shirt, hat, some other goodies in there to give away. After we do that, after turkey season, we're going to be jumping into getting trail cameras out, checking some stands, getting some new food plots put in that we haven't already, pushing some trees out. I have 2 new ones made this year for our property here in Wisconsin. And I think it's going to be an awesome year. because of how wet it's going to be earlier in the year to get all that done, get trees pushed out, because now you can push a lot of them trees out that you normally couldn't. And you can move around some more dirt and move that landscape around a little bit more that you want to. So then we're going to jump into that. And then pretty soon we'll be in June and July when we start putting plots in and seeding everything down and making sure stands are set up. And then we'll be September and August, or August and September, right around the start. And I know in September we have Kyle Dove is who killed the one doe. He's also my boss in a sense and an employee almost, because he runs Crushed Ice Outdoors. I'm the producer and cameraman and editor. And then he basically gets me content for my show here, and we have a good team together this year. So he has a bear hunt in Wisconsin. We're going to go up to around the Ashland area in Wisconsin from September to October with some bow hunting in between. And I believe possibly in August or October, I can't remember, he plans on trying to get a trip out to Montana, I believe it is, and he's going to try and hunt some elk out there. So that'd be an awesome episode too. There's no finals on that. After that, we have Wisconsin deer hunting. We got Minnesota deer hunting. We're going to try and do it all with a bow over in Minnesota. I'm going to see if I can't sneak my way down into Illinois. I know I've been wanting to do that the past couple of years now. And then we're going to have all the other guys that are going to be hunting Wisconsin and Minnesota too. So we'll have some film coming that way. And then it'll be wrapping up the end of the year again. As crazy as it sounds, as fast as it's going to go, it seems like it can't come fast enough. But I want to touch on the winter too so far. So the winter has been super hard on the deer. And I know I'm not going to go into too much detail on this because I want to go into it with Connor and my next guest when we both get on here. But basically, we've had so much snow, and due to us being so close to the CWD area, they've put on a feeding ban for 2 years starting last May. So we haven't hit 1 year yet on that feeding ban, and it's been a super hard year for the deer through February now, because the winter got so cold, everything froze, they didn't have much food source to begin with, and now 50 inches of snow and drifts, the deer are having a hard time moving around. And the hardest part for them is we can't, as hunters, we're supposed to be able to try and help our natural resources survive and keep them around. And it's hard being torn between the two, because as a hunter, as looking out for the deer, I don't want to lose them in the future, just like anybody else does. I don't care what side you're on, and whether you're a hunter, whether you don't hunt, you just like deer, and even if you're anti-hunting, you don't want to see the deer disappear, and that's what CWD could cause the deer to do, really. I mean, as scary as it is, you also have to look at from the perspective our local vet here gave us. It's more than likely been around here for years, and maybe not hundreds of years, but it's been around here long enough where it could be just like any other disease, where eventually there's an immunity built up to it, and it won't affect every single deer, and eventually they'll be able to live with the disease, and some will never get it in their lifespan. At the same time, they all could end up getting in the end and die. I mean, it's a very unknown subject, and without having a cure yet, and this is tough to get into too. I heard from a very valuable source. He has a friend, a close friend that works in the scientific side of, he's a biologist in the CWD area that he's been studying for years. And they've now, don't quote me on this, I'm 95% sure this has come from a very good source, that they have found a cure for it. But it's just like any other medicine when you come out with it right away. One, it's hard to get right away because you can't disperse all of it at once. Two, it's expensive. It's going to be expensive. And there's no way to treat one deer on the farm that has the disease. And if the disease is already back in the ground, who says you treat the deer and the deer doesn't go and eat the same piece of dirt and it gets it right back? So you just keep treating the same disease, that you're not helping the situation without basically an antivirus, just like the flu shot. Until you can get something out there, a vaccine that, prevents that virus from spreading, that disease from spreading, you're not going to be able to cure it and prevent the problem from spreading. But back to where I was getting at. The really tough part about being just me loving to watch the deer and the wildlife out there in the wintertime, it's hard to see them go through such a tough winter without, being able to pull a little corn out or some mineral and supplements to help them survive and give them that push through winter so they stay healthy, and we keep the deer herd around and healthy and strong like we have in the past. And now having that taken away from us kind of sucks in a way, but it's something that's bittersweet. Hopefully the feeding ban works and helps, and basically hopefully it diminishes the CWD herd and we keep the healthy herd around. But who knows? There's so many skeptical sides of everything. There's so many different factors that go into it that there's no guarantee what's going to work, what's not going to work. But the winter has been super hard, and I don't want to touch into this too much because I want to get into it with other people and get their insights. But yeah, it's been a weird year so far. For as good of a start as we thought it was going to be, it's going to be a way different start. I'm hoping turkey hunting's going to be fun in the snow. I'm sure it's not going to, because they're talking all the way up until St. Patrick's Day. We're going to have cold weather, so there won't be much thawing. So I'm sure by April there's going to be a lot of 4-foot drifts left out there in the field that you guys got to get through to get on some birds. But it should be easier to spot them. It should be easier to find out where they're going for food. And if you can find hens, I think you're going to be able to find their food source and where they're going to want to hang out or about. And then you should be able to get on some toms. So that's going to be a fun experience so far. It's going to be a different experience this year too. And I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully I can get Connor out there. I know it's going to be a trek for him to get through snow and everything, but it's going to be a good year. We have some good things to come this year. We have a team built up. We have other guys who run the camera. So it's not going to be just a one-man show anymore. It's not going to be me going film one guy in a one-night hunt. It's going to be a few different cameras rolling at all times. There'll be a couple opportunities now to get some good content. And besides all the podcasts that are going to come your way, there'll be some awesome other episodes of stuff going on. I know we have some squirrel footage, and we want to get a squirrel video done, but we're waiting to get that out for a little bit later date, because we don't want to push one video out now and then have a month and a half or 2-month period with no videos because we can't shed hunt or anything. And we'll probably have a video of us at the sports show there, make sure you swing by, check out our booth. There's going to be some cool stuff there. There's going to be a kids pond, and it goes towards a great cause too. I've been promoting on the page a little bit. It's something you really should come and just attend and check out, because it goes back to the Sportsman's Club, and even though you might not think that it's benefiting you, become a member, help out. It really does help, and that it's not me advertising. It's just, from a basic standpoint of they help out in the community a lot, through hunting, through trapping, through fishing. It's through your sportsmanship, and if you like the outdoors and the recreation of hunting and fishing and all that good stuff, you want to keep it around and in your area, and everything that we can do to help. It's just like Whitetails Unlimited or Ducks Unlimited, them are banquets that cost money to go to, but that money goes back into your species and what you want to do, and maybe you don't get to see that money, but it's going back into something that's helping you out and helping the land we have, because we only get it once. We only get these resources once, and I'd hate to lose all the deer just like any other hunter would. But anyways, this was just a short little episode. I had to get something out there. Everybody seemed to be super busy this week, so I said, hell with it. I'm going to sit down. I'm just going to do a little overview of what this year's going to look like for us. But yeah, the next podcast, it won't be just me. There'll be more to talk about. We'll go into more detail on a certain subject. It'll be a little more entertaining than me just sitting here talking to you. But thank you for tuning in. Thank you for the support. Please like and share the page. Like and share the podcast too. It only helps us. It only helps you, because the more positive feedback we get on videos, on podcasts, on anything, on pictures, on our page, the more we can do, the more we can keep expanding and doing. And we can only do it with all of your support, and I thank you greatly for it. But anyways, stay safe, stay warm, stay out of the snow if you can, and we'll see you next time.